He's, whoa, getting a little sideways. Another hard turn. Looks like off of Bowman. Butterfly. Another hard turn. Alhambra PD in pursuit of that vehicle stolen out of the LAPD area this morning. High speeds, light van. We've seen this thing fishtail a couple of times and a lot of hard turns. The back door almost seems open. Now, Alhambra PD, they're kind of just, they backed off a little bit, probably because of all those hard turns and these high speeds. The only reason I'm stopping right there is because we might be going live, but the other thing I'm hearing right now is the LAPD helicopter is basically telling the guys from Alhambra PD to get a little closer, get up on this guy. He's thinking that he's probably going to stop and bail. These very residential streets out here. I can't call out every one of these little streets, but you can see that van slowing down a little bit. Stolen vehicle out of LAPD's area this morning. Right now, we only know one person inside, clearly the driver. Who else would be in there? And Alhambra PD not giving this up, apparently, even though we are clearly in the Hollenbeck area of the LAPD area. Kind of slowing down in the speeds a little bit. That rear end just kind of hops around a lot. Here comes another one. You can see it basically doing those hops. Ran every stop sign that we've seen so far, and a lot of times when he hits those hard turns, you'll see that van fishtail. That's because there's probably absolutely no weight in there. Also might be out of fuel, which might be a huge plus. Making his way back onto Eastern right now. Eastern, a major street out here, and every time he hits these big ones, you just kind of got to, your blood runs cold. We've seen him get really close to a lot of cars. Wrong way on the road, ran another red light right there. This is the type of stuff we don't want to see. And you know what? I've been wrong in the past. Not so much close up, but it almost looks like that may be a female driver.
So, Stu, what do we know? Where did this start? How long has it been going?
We can tell you that we're westbound on Valley. I'm kind of playing with my map trying to get you the name of the streets. We're in the El Sereno area. El Sereno, University Hills. So we're very close to the 10 freeway, very close to the USC medical area. And you can see that he seems to get on the majors and then gets off onto these smaller streets. And of course, every time he gets onto the smaller streets and he starts doing that stuff right there, you just got to worry. You got to wonder if somebody else is coming the other way, somebody's walking across the street. This guy's barreling down these streets. Hard turn right there again. And these are what the law enforcement, these are reasons why they do that back off. Because they figure if they back off, then the car will slow down. You can see it. There's nobody, I'm sorry about that. There are. The Alhambra PD right behind him. So that's why, maybe one of the reasons why this person's still driving so erratically.
What's dangerous is a lot of the people who are on the road, and luckily it seems like that was close. It seems like there aren't a whole lot of people, although he's on the freeway, it seems, don't know what's going on, right? And you often think about the innocent bystanders that are in danger because they have no idea. They're driving or walking around, and all of a sudden there's this pursuit, and God forbid, they can really get hurt.
Westbound 10 freeway, and you're seeing how this person is driving, erratic, making these lane changes so fast. And if you really pay attention to that van, you look at it right there. You see that little sway in the back. That is, that is what I'm watching right there, because if he makes too hard of a turn, too fast, or she, the suspect, the driver, this could end very, very badly. We never want to see anybody get hurt, but in this case right here, Alhambra PD right behind him, LAPD right above him, and they're making these calls. They might hand this off to the California Highway Patrol. We're going to be westbound on the 10 freeway, going to be joining the 101, so we're going to be in downtown Los Angeles here in just a moment.
Seems like he or she, the driver, has picked up steam, or does it just seem that way from my vantage point? It seems like the person is getting a little bit more risky, a little bit more daring, and now you see he's coming in, or she's coming into an area where there are some more cars.
They want the speedometer on. Alhambra PD, these guys, I got to hand it to them. These drivers, really, these officers, right on this guy's tail almost the entire time. Now he's pushing his way through the emergency lane right there. I say he, but we don't know. I thought for a second when we saw it from the side, could possibly be a female driver. But again, the stolen vehicle isn't worth it. Isn't worth it. Look at this. Look at this.
Just passing over the 4-level interchange, that's where the Hollywood and the 110 come together. You're looking at this driver traveling north on the 110 Harbor Freeway, make that the North Hollywood Freeway. 101 Freeway northbound. Speeds are relatively slow right now.
All these different things have to be in play for this guy to actually, or that officer to actually do it. Looks like we're going to be getting off the freeway right there. That doesn't mean California Highway Patrol is just going to throw their hands up and go, oh, he's off the freeway, not my problem. They're going to stay with it for a little bit. LAPD, they might have to pick it up. But we can see Melrose, Normandy, anybody that drives out here knows this is a tight one with a lot of traffic all times of the day and night. And let's see what that van does to try to get around it.
Well, presumably all of these various agencies, because we are going through different cities, through different, municipalities and different, obviously different jurisdictions, these agencies would have to be in touch with one another about what's going on right now.
Oh, definitely. There's no doubt about it. If they're actually communicating directly with the law enforcement, meaning the officers in the vehicles, or if it's just supervisors, oh, I hope he's not doing one of those. We're going to park underneath the freeway and just wait and see what happens. California Highway Patrol right on him. Nope, he made a U-turn there and basically getting back onto the turning around right there. And California Highway Patrol, we're hearing them now, and we're following along with them. But that driver's, you saw those erratic moves where he kind of drove on the curb, or let's just call it the suspect drove on the curb and to maneuver around there. That is actually quite tame to what what we saw earlier on.
Starting to pick up a little speed here, coming up on the Hollywood freeway, not too far from the 4-level, approaching Rampart. May think about exiting Alvarado right here. Coming up on Alvarado, but you can see the erratic maneuver right there. That's a bus lane right there, if I'm not mistaken. Pilot's telling me the freeway may be shut down up ahead due to police activity, maybe separate activity. We're not sure if this is related.
He's going to be stuck in traffic, so my thought is that he is likely going to try and exit the freeway right here, and so we'll see that in the next few seconds here. The CHP is immediately behind this guy, but there is a traffic collision that is blocking the right and the middle lanes just ahead of him, and he is now trying to do his very best to looks like get off the freeway, and for him, under these conditions here, that's probably going to be the best thing here for him to continue on. But again, that's going to be the Glendale Boulevard exit south on the 101 freeway here. So as he makes his way over to Temple, we'll see if he crosses through the intersection or makes a left or right turn onto Temple here. We'll know that in just a matter of moments here. It looks like it's going to be a left turn eastbound on Temple. We're essentially going to be heading over towards the 110 freeway in about a matter of a mile or so. Okay, he's moved southbound.
There's only been one patrol car behind the suspect on the freeway. You see the LAPD helicopter just flew overhead. They'll make circles around this and follow it, give out radio calls to the patrol cars that are on the ground. But it looks like this is going to be an LAPD caper now. It was CHP when it was on the freeway.
We'll kind of watch and see what he does, but again, kind of blowing through some of the slower cars in the area here. It looks like he's going to try and make his way in towards downtown, and that is going to be kind of a difficult situation here because of the buildings here. So we're going to have to make some room here. We're going to climb a little bit to make room for the LAPD airship that needs the airspace between the buildings here. So bear with us here, but at this point, he is going to be northbound on Figueroa.
Light traffic. That's the only big plus about this morning. Light traffic on these streets.
Well, and sometimes we've seen, and we've watched so many of these pursuits over the years, I mean, more than we care to even think of or count.
Going the wrong, oh my gosh, okay. So this is dangerous. This is where it gets dangerous, where you can see kind of the desperation in his style of driving there.
It's a great strategy if you think about it, Philip, because right now there doesn't appear to be much, if any, threat to the public out on our streets. The van is slowed down. He's made a few turns like that one that could be questionable. but still not driving in an extremely erratic nature or way above the speed limit.
So areas in this particular zone is where this driver was driving earlier. So a lot of times, Adrian, again, driving back to an area where the driver is familiar. Where are we? Are we in Alhambra, you think? Okay, in Alhambra. Just turn Freemont Avenue, not too far. North of the 10, and then what? East of Fremont, west of Fremont, right?
Get out and just walk away and be like, I don't know where that came from. There you go. You got somebody probably clueless about what's going on right there.
Oh, no, this is interesting.
Yeah, what's going on here? You know? Maybe he's like, hey, you want a van? You want to take my van? Anyways, we'll see what's going on right there. It looked like there was an exchange of words.
Well, there was some kind of communication there. I'm not sure what that was all
definitely.
about.
They've gone to a high-altitude surveillance mode, and that's the first time I've seen that. And they have no units on the ground following the suspect. And it seems to me like an excellent strategy. It looks like the van may stop here. If the van does stop and the suspect gets out, then they'll be able to make a radio call and get officers down to this area immediately. You know, the suspect may be stopping to take a look around to see if the LAPD helicopter is overhead. It's unclear exactly what they're doing. I think if we're all the way in on the doubler or not, and if we can see if it's a man or a woman, or we see there's anybody in the passenger side, we'll try and come around the other side and see if we can get that. But it's unclear why he may have stopped. It appears to be a man. Actually, it's a woman, and she has gotten, well, I'm not certain. The suspect has gotten out of the vehicle, and now it looks like they're getting back inside. So we're seeing, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, well, yeah, the suspect is dropping something off in front of this home.
Well, this is really strange.
When have we seen one that's not, Tony? Left the food there on the curb, so maybe it's that touchless delivery where you don't because of COVID they don't want to knock on the door.
Contactless delivery.
Yeah, contactless delivery. Up. Yep, there you go. I told you.
No, he's not going anywhere.
No.
That unmarked unit that you saw has pulled over probably to investigate what she was about to drop off there.
They're trying to get this suspect in custody, but that was the strangest thing ever. That guy got out, brought some food out. Speeds clearly not as high as before, but you can see the erratic driving is starting again, making those hard turns.
Now we're going to be coming up on a major street, and if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be Eastern, and she will have a decision to make north, south, or west. That's going to be northbound on Eastern.
And I still think their strategy to just back off, surveil this from a high altitude, and not pressure that driver to cause that individual, that suspect, to drive more erratically and maybe hurt somebody is a good one. We're going around in circles basically now in the same area.
We lose kind of lose that. We get desensitized to how dangerous a vehicle moving can be. There's some law enforcement right there. Looks like we're going into an alleyway.
That is a pretty narrow alley that she's kind of trucking through at this point here. So she's just coming out the exit of the alley, and she's going to make a right turn back towards Huntington. And at Huntington, there's a little bit of traffic heading westbound. She might be just going eastbound at this point, because there's less traffic going in that direction here.
This is the situation on Huntington Drive here in Alhambra, making another right turn, almost going around in a circle. Once they see a pattern, they could set out a spike strip. That could stop this, or even a pit maneuver if they get right behind the vehicle. So this helps a little bit, I believe, that the suspect is staying in the same area. But this is a bizarre driving right now.
Yeah, and really in a situation like this, we're just kind of like buying time. That's really what the driver's doing. It's just buying time until this is over, coming back onto I believe that is Huntington Drive again. Yeah. So at least the driver is stopping for the light. I don't know if if he can't turn left. I don't think he can turn left there. He's just kind of waiting and making that right turn there. Fortunately, and another thing we also look at is their body language.
They just want it to spin so they can get in front of it and then get the suspect locked in behind a couple of vehicles and get it over with. We're going back and forth on Huntington in the Alhambra area. It looked like that individual was communicating with the suspect, so they may have known one another. It's just so hard to tell. Oh boy, look at that. They're holding a sign.
We're getting a little more information from our news desk. They're doing a great job back over there. Rosa, thank you for that information. Right now, we are getting confirmation from Alhambra PD that this vehicle ran a red light in Alhambra near the intersection of Freemont and Main Street. So that initiated the probable cause to pull that vehicle over. The officers initiated a traffic stop. Vehicle failed to yield. Here we go. Looks like we're still going. And once they ran the plate, it came back stolen, so it really gave them even more reason to stick with it. So when they found a possible perfect timing in order to bring this driver into custody, the driver got back into the car. Look at that. Is that a pedestrian? Oh, my goodness. Now that car is probably a little upset and maybe coming after him, not realizing that this vehicle is involved in a pursuit, and I think that's what we're going to see right now. He swerved around this car, this black vehicle, a little bit of road rage action going on right now. He's pulling up next to this van, maybe wondering, why did you just not stop? We're going to see what happens, but I don't think this driver is aware that this vehicle is wanted right now for evading law enforcement officers. Yeah, he's probably going to make, that driver's going to make his or her presence known. Driving right next to him, no doubt words are probably being exchanged, some gestures and so forth, but not a good idea. I mean, we're witnessing this right now. Again, this driver's not aware that every news chopper and LAPD helicopter is following this driver, so we are monitoring not only that driver, but the vehicle, the black vehicle, that driver's behavior.
Anyone's guess as to who might be in that vehicle behind. Rich just suggested that maybe it's the owner of the van, but at any rate, it's hard to know at this point. So just coming up on the intersection right now, that's going to be Valley and Mission. Mission going through the intersection, and it looks like she's going to make a hard left.
Certainly, law enforcement would encourage people to do the exact opposite of get involved. In fact, if you
Definitely.
suspect that you are somehow or another
There we go. Here's another person.
caught up in a
Here's
pursuit,
another person. Looks
you
like
should move out of the way.
Either it's either a fan of the media or knows that driver, trying to get the attention of the driver. You just never know. Oh my goodness. Anyways, and welcome to Los Angeles. So at any rate, there we go. Another person talking, getting some items from the suspect. Apparently, this van. We only thing we know about the van is that it was stolen. It might have been a catering truck. It might have been a delivery truck for some kind of groceries. It looks like he just dropped off some, gave that person something.
Yeah.
Looked food item-ish, maybe a drink or something.
If logic was in control here, this would have ended a long time ago. Definitely. Here's another person just getting a couple of moments of fame, maybe getting a picture for social media there. This is a point where even I kind of start feeling unusual about watching and following these things, because it turns into this kind of event or a circus of a pursuit circus, as it would be. Everybody wants to get their couple of seconds of fame.
You have to question the mental stability of this person. We're not speculating anything, but these are questions and answers that law enforcement officers do want to know, because if this person is suffering with some type of mental illness, they want to make sure that they can get the right resources available and maybe handle the situation a little differently, a little more delicately, if the pursuit comes to a standoff or something of that nature. So that's why body language and a person's behavior during the pursuit really says a lot about their mental condition and about whether or not they're agitated in a situation like this. And Michael, person is just kind of free flow right now, really nonchalant, saying hi to people along the road.
Kind of a mixed residential and industrial area here, so if she pops out, let's see what she does. Okay, now she's kind of getting herself into a situation where she's going to be, well, not necessarily boxing herself in, but giving herself giving herself limited options, in other words here, guys. So we're right next to the LA River, just south of the 101 freeway, so just south of Piper Tech. It's in the back of an industrial area here. Rich, can you wind out just real quick? I don't want her to stop and jump out, but I want to give people a sense of where we are here. Okay, there's going to be a police officer right there, just off her right, and I don't know if he senses what's going on there, but that southbound van against the backdrop of the LA River, the officer is not turning around yet. Okay, now she's making a U-turn. And in front of her, a couple of 100 yards away, is that one officer that she just passed. And now she's behind him, a couple 100 yards away. And the officer, Rich, is going to be a couple 100 yards in front of her. Okay, yeah, oh gosh, this is just dangerous for the folks who have to work in this area who may not necessarily know what's going on, but by the looks of it, maybe people coming out, maybe they do know what's going on here. The police officer that she passed is still kind of in his or her vehicle, maybe not sensing what's going on, but she's just driving around in circles here now. It's not like she's trapped. I mean, she can definitely, I can see a couple of ways out, should she choose to, but the way she's kind of meandering around this, okay, now this is a way out for her. Okay, this is the way out. This is one of the ways she can exit the industrial area here. Now she's moving back towards, that should be Mission Road there. That should be Mission Road. So, okay, here we go. Mission Road, there we go. Right turn, southbound, and for what it's worth, the officer, I don't think ever really caught on as to what was happening there, but at any rate, you can see that she, wow, just putting herself in kind of the tightest of situations here.
Yep.
The driver appears to be happy, Michael. I mean, I've covered many pursuits. You can kind of tell through their body language if they're agitated, if they're angry. I don't get that from this driver. Just kind of like waving to people and just in a joyful mood. And it kind of gives you the question.
If, in fact, she's familiar with the Alhambra area, this is going to be something that she is, essentially going to know.
Hopefully it'll come to a safe ending here soon. Here we go, Aldo. Yeah, and I want to say we're still kind of in El Sereno area, not too far from Alhambra Avenue. So Alhambra Avenue here, kind of pull out here to give you an idea of where exactly we are. We're still in residential area, right off of Alhambra Avenue. I'm just trying to look out the window. We're north of the 10 freeway, and we're just on the border of Alhambra, here, just north of Cal State LA, my pilot's telling me.
See that vehicle right behind him? I believe that he's involved somehow. This vehicle right here appears to me is sped up very quickly. The white car that's coming along the right side of the van right now came out of nowhere. It doesn't look like an undercover patrol car, so I don't know how this individual is involved once again.
I remember this area too because of all those cones. He made a U-turn here earlier on, and looks like we're going to be doing something here again. So this is an area that this person, this driver, has been is very familiar with. And there you go, that white car definitely connected somehow, following along right there. So that wasn't just coincidence. And that motorcycle too, that was something else that we saw earlier on. I was watching that bike.
Yeah, we saw this bike like maybe 10 minutes ago.
Right, and he was just there just moments ago, and now following along as well. These are things, even if they know that person, these are things that law enforcement does not want to in any way to happen.
Wow. You know what? Fist bumping? I mean, this is like the first of. We see a lot of this. Michael, they're just getting their street credit. Let's be real. This is what happens in a situation like this. We're televising this. People are seeing it. When that guy got out of a vehicle here, so we are starting to see people follow this driver. That creates a challenge for law enforcement officers now. You can see the same vehicles are following. It's like an entourage. This white van has its own entourage. Look at all these people just following this white van. That's going to create a little situation for law enforcement officers. You don't know the agitated state of that person, what that person is in. The more we fly in the same area, this is what we see. We see people kind of cheering that driver on or so forth, saying things. Hopefully some of them are saying, pull over safely. Those are questions that all law enforcement officers probably want to have answered. Hold on. Okay.
But at any rate, the van continues on out here and staying in this general area where there's been a lot of, let's just say, public support, making her way back into the residential neighborhood. I hope the van comes to a stop again, the person gets out, and this thing just comes to an end. It looks like they're making a decision here where to go, or maybe the van ran out of gas.
Now, is this the same white car we've been seeing? It's hard to
Well,
know.
it has a sunroof, and it's white. That's the only thing I can tell you, Tony.
Okay, now we have another vehicle we've seen.
Yep. Some more interaction right there. That person clearly not saying what the driver wanted to hear. As far as I know, this is very just Los Angeles. I have not seen any type of interaction like this any place but in our city.
Yeah, I mean... And this actually, it not only does law enforcement not want to see this because someone could get hurt first and foremost, but it also interferes with what they need to do. You know that these people somehow or another have gotten information that there is a pursuit in progress. They've pinpointed where the pursuit is occurring and they've decided to get involved.
There we go again. And this person has their phone out, so, you don't know, recording video, doing something live right there. This is where it just becomes crazy. It's like, what is the point of all this? And, they got that person right there, doing whatever to get their couple minutes of fame.
Yeah. It is so difficult, Philip. Our family has someone with mental health issues. But they don't take their medicine. It is just horrific. They just don't want to take the medicine. They don't mean any harm. They just don't know any better when they're off the meds. And you just want to try and get this over with safely before anyone was hurt. You're absolutely right, though. LAPD wants nothing to do with this. They do not want family members to assist. They're doing nothing but making it worse, in all honesty, because before they got behind this van, she was driving fairly calmly unless she would see an officer. The helicopter has engaged overhead. It looks like whatever communication happened there wasn't enough to get her get out of the vehicle and stop.
Very 50 miles an hour. Going to be running some more stop signs right there.
As soon as she gets in that vehicle and she hits the gas, she accelerates, and apparently no intention of, giving it up at this point here. But okay, she's pulled over. Okay, hang on. Okay, doors opening. Hang on, Rich. Okay, the two cars that were tracking her are now behind her, Rich. Okay, just okay. Oh boy, here we go. Okay. You're seeing it right, just like we are. Okay, he's gonna let her in. He's gonna let her in, and he's gonna back out, and let's see what this guy does now, because does that make this guy an accessory? Potentially. So there you go. And for what it's worth, that second car is now behind this car. The LAPD does have an airship directly above now, So in that sense, they have engaged in a situation where they can keep close track of this situation here. So there's the one car, and now the silver car, they're going to go straight.
The situation has changed. Now you have somebody else picking up that wanted felon and continuing on. Right.
So now you have the woman.
The driver apparently willingly letting the suspect, the pursuit suspect, into the vehicle here. So they are essentially now traveling through Alhambra and northeast LA, and have been for the better part of an hour and a half now. I don't know if this person ahead of them is trying to box him in or slow him down, but no, he's going to be pulling over to the right, letting that Mini through. They should be coming up on a, kind of a major street here. They're going to make the left. Okay, they're going to stick to the residential area.
You got to wonder, now the suspect not driving this car, LAPD or whatever law enforcement is in this area, they have got to be thinking to themselves, well, if we get behind this person, is this person going to comply?
We're looking at what our eyes are telling us, but we don't really know whether our eyes are telling us what's really going on.
There we go. This is what I wanted to see. So, okay, Hollenbeck Division, LAPD right behind.
Exactly. Yeah, we did see that earlier. We're on Warwick Street, LAPD. They got one unit right now talking to that a driver. We've got some more units pulling up. One family member got out, and again, we're assuming it's family members, but you can see the driver of the Mini Cooper complying. Hopefully, I can assure you, one of the things they want that driver to do is take the keys out of the vehicle. They want to make sure that that passenger, who is the original driver from the first pursuit that we were covering, doesn't drive away in this minivan. But it appears that the driver of the minivan, Mini Cooper rather, is complying, and most likely, again, they're going to handle this a little more delicately than what we normally see. If somebody is suffering from mental illness, officers want to use extreme caution, and they want to be a little more delicate. They have two females right now, one's proned out, and then they also have this person here. That was a passenger here. So we have three people proned out, most likely family members. They're concerned for their loved one, and LAPD officers are soon going to try to take the passenger, who is the original driver from the pursuit we've been covering since about 9:30 this morning.
Stu, did we lose you? All right, so we may not have audio contact with Stu right now, but let me tell you what you're looking at. We've been following a pursuit for more than an hour. Are you back? Okay, so now...
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tony. They're going to forcefully remove that driver right now.
Okay.
They have less than lethal out there. Hopefully they're going to unlock the door. I'd hate to see that woman get pulled through the window. She seemed to be a little bit of a larger lady, but it does look like they already have her out, and they're going to take her into custody right there. So this thing coming to an end, finally, after one of the strangest morning pursuits I have seen in forever.
This has certainly been one of the more bizarre pursuits that I've certainly seen. But yeah, now we can see the female suspect, the woman who was driving the stolen van, and then got out of that van and into a Mini Cooper here, has been taken into custody.